welcome to another episode of The Board Game Man. My name is Jamie Cloninger, and today we're going to do a card game called Snafooey! I just love saying that, Snafooey! I know, I have the same look on my face that you have on your face right now going, what the heck is Snafooey? I actually picked this up from an estate sale a couple days ago, and it was a porch pickup. So all I had to do is text the person and said, hey, do you still have this game? How much is it? They said $5. I said, okay, sounds good to me. What time do you want me to pick it up? I went out down there and they had it sitting on the porch. I dropped the $5 off in the mailbox, and there you have it. I read over the instructions, and what I liked about this is it's actually brand new. It's from 1982, and you can see the chips are still, and the dice are still in the sealed bag, and the card. There's actually two deck of cards. The one deck is open, and this deck is completely sealed. So it's brand new. And I have to share this because I saw this. I had to laugh. This was sitting right on top. For a price of $6.95 and $1 shipping, you can own a Snafooey t-shirt. Yes, that is your t-shirt offer. For a Snafooey t-shirt, $6.95 shipping. You got to love that. So 80s right there. And don't they look so excited to be on there? I mean, they're just like, yeah, okay, I'm on there. I can't seem to get it to focus. But yeah, I'm just laughing going, yeah, they look real excited to be on there. But anyhow, let's go to the gamer's table, and I'm going to show you how to play it. Okay, welcome to the gamer's table. This is how Snafooey is set up. What you'll do is each player receives 4 cards in each player. And they also receive 10 chips per person. The winner of the game is the one that has any chips at the end of the game. So if you're the last player that have any chips in your hand, you win the game. Now what we got here is there is 3 scores that you're trying not to go over, otherwise it will cost you chips. That is 30, 60, and 90. So for instance, for the first player, you'll see this is the first player's hand. You got 2, 4, 4, 4. What you do is you lay down your hand in the discard pile next to the draw pile, and you're going to say the number or the total that's in the stack. So in this case, the first player is going to lay down a 4. They're going to say 4, and then draw another card immediately. Make sure you draw another card, because if the second player goes and they drop their card and they draw their, they discard the card and they draw a new card, and the player 1 hasn't done that yet, I'm sorry, you're out of luck. Then you're playing with 3 cards the rest of the game. So make sure every single turn you discard a card, you say that the total amount that's supposed to be, you draw another card. And these cards are like this, so they're not face up, you're actually holding them in your hand. Then the second player looks, and they look at their cards, and they go, oh, let's play this 4, because we're far away from 30. So we're going to go 8. Draw a card. Player 3 looks at their cards. Let's do number 4. 12. And draw a card. Now this is going to continue on until you get closer to 30. Now once you reach 30 or just underneath 30, if you are the player that draws a card and goes over 30 points, or 30, yeah, I guess you could say 30 points, 30 on the card total, it'll cost you 1 chip. So you're 1 chip down, okay? So you lose that chip. Then you proceed, you keep playing until you come up on 60. If you're the player that plays a card that goes over 60, it'll cost you 2 chips. All right? Once you reach 90, whoever the player is that went over 90, it will cost them, yep, you guessed it, 3 chips. Okay? And then once you reach after 90, then it goes back to 0, and then you start up again from 30, 60, 90, 30, 60, 90, and so on. Now, there are some other cards in the deck, of course, not just numbers. These are ones that can make the game a little more exciting. So let me grab the instructions here, because I want to make sure I get this right. Because I don't want to... The pass card, passe, however you want to say it. This card, all you're really doing is passing to the next player. That's pretty much all this card is doing. So you're going to say pass, passe, whatever, I think that's how you say it. And it just goes to the next player. Now, this can be really used if you're really close to 30, 60, or 90. So say it's like 88 or something, and you're looking at your cards, and all you have are 3 and 4s, and it's going to make you go over. That's a good time to use this. So use that, it goes to the next person, and that might cause them to go over. So that's a good passe card. The next one is going to be Back At Ya. There's the Back At Ya card. And this is pretty much almost like Uno when it does reverse. That's exactly what Back At Ya does. It just reverses the play. So you go back at you, it goes back to the person that just played before you. And then they have to play. Then you have the Gotcha. This can be a pretty tricky card to play. Now you'll see on the card it says 30, 60, 90 on there. Whatever amount you are up to 30, say from 1 to 29, if you play the Gotcha card, it goes straight up to 30. If the number count is up to 31 to 59, it goes straight to 60. And 61 to 89, it goes straight to 90. So that can be a real game changer there for the next player when they think they have a few cards that can, squeak under the amount, and all of a sudden, boom, you're at 60, boom, you're at 90, boom, you're at 30. And that next player has to play it. So this is a pretty potent card right there, is a Gotcha card. That can get you pretty good. Next one is Chaos. This player, when the player plays this is a good card to play if your back is against the wall. Say you're at 59, you don't want to cross over 60, you really want to, you don't want to go over. What you can do is play the Chaos card. Now this is the first time we've introduced the dice to the game. This is when the dice come in handy. If you roll a 6 or under, the point count in the cards goes down. So say the card count was 59, you play a Chaos card, say you roll a 6, the card count goes down 6. So it'll go from 59 to 53, and that is the new count. If you roll 7 or higher, let's see what happens here. Oh boy, 11. So if you roll 7 or higher, then that amount is added to the card count. And if you go over the 30, 60, or 90, it's going to cost you that many chips. So if it's if say you had 25 and you rolled 11, you went way over 30, you're gonna owe that 1 chip. If it's over 60 and you roll over 7, or 7 or more, it's going to be 2 chips, and 90 is 3 chips. It's always 1 chip after 30, 2 chips after 60, and 3 chips under 90, always. But when it comes to the Chaos dice, or the Chaos, like I said, if it's 6 or under, then the amount goes lower. So it actually subtracts. So that can actually help you. Or it might just make you go over if you roll 7 or higher. Then we add, if it's 10, we add 10 more to the count. And then you add, you have to give up the whatever chip mount it is, whatever points that you're at. So that is Chaos. So that can help you or kind of hurt you, either way. And then we have the grand finale card here. Snafooey himself. Snafooey! Now what he does, if you draw this card, this is when it gets interesting. This card can only be played if you're at 30, 60, or 90, right on the button. It cannot be played any other time besides 30, 60, or 90. If this card is played, every player has to roll the dice with the exception of the player who played the Snafooey card. So if it was player 1 that did this, player 2 and 3 have to roll the dice. All right. So what happens at this point, whoever rolls the lowest amount, so say player 2 rolls a 7, and player 3 rolls a 12. The highest number will pay the chips. So it's only the highest. The highest. Oh wait a second. Let's see. Make sure I got this right. Yes, the lowest roller does not pay any chips. So whoever rolled the highest out of all the rest of the players, if you have 4, 5, 6 players, whatever, whoever rolled the highest, we'll spit. We'll have to spend the chips, whether it's over 30, 60, or 90. If it's 30, then you have to spit out the 1, 2, or 3, depending on where you're at. Now you're probably wondering, well, what if this is a 2-player game? If it's when 2 people, let me try that again. When 2 people are playing, or if there's only 2 players left in the game, the opposing player has to roll the dice. If the roll of the dice totals 7 or more, that amount is added to 30, and that player or 60 or 90, that player will lose a chip, and the play continues. Obviously it's the same thing where if you roll 6 or less, the amount is subtracted. And that's pretty much it. So that's what Snafooey does. It's pretty much just makes everybody else roll their dice, and whoever rolls the lowest will keep their chips, and the one who rolls the highest has to give up whatever chip count and whatever total it is at that time. And like I said, whoever has the last player that has chips in their hand wins the game, and that is Snafooey! And there's another episode in the books of the Board Game Man. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the episode, please click the like button down below along with the subscribe button. And I'm going to close out by saying one last word. Snafooey!